Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Saturn making a square, opposition, or inconjunct aspect to one's natal north node. Now, when you have transit Saturn involves Saturn, they could be about limitations, restrictions, responsibilities, duties, delays, obstructions, sorrows, despondency, fears, and inhibitions. Now, when transit Saturn is basically making an adverse aspect to one's natal north node, when I say basically, I'm going to elaborate on that, is that squares and oppositions in astrology, those aspects, of course, are adverse and negative. But the inconjunct is neutral, but a neutral aspect can have good and bad qualities to it. And the fact is, an inconjunct aspect can require an adjustment, a transition, and that could cause some exasperation and tension. So collectively, basically, I do see this as an adverse transit. Now, again, when transit Saturn is basically making the adverse aspect of one's natal north node, well, it may manifest in limitations, restrictions, responsibilities, duties, delays, obstructions, sorrow, fears, inhibitions. Those things might conflict with one's future. It might be something where you may be somewhat apprehensive, maybe hesitant about going after the future. Maybe you're more comfortable in the south node, and that's where people are generally comfortable anyway. But it could also be where you may just simply, might be delayed in something that's connected with your future. I mean, if you have the natal north node in Scorpio as an example, maybe there's something where involves deep research or investigation or something with psychology, like a psychology field, or locksmithing, or working in forensics, as some examples. It can be also too, I mean, North Node is connected with our destiny, could be connected with our destiny and purpose. And you might feel that there's some delay in this at this time, or maybe there's just a lot of negativity regarding where you feel you're destined for, and it's not, or in terms of actually meeting your destiny. Say if the natal north node is in Leo, it might be something where you're trying to do something like with acting or entertainment, or working with children, or being able to do something that might gain you some some notoriety, some recognition of sorts. Maybe you feel that this is the time where you just don't feel like you're meant to reach that destiny. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't, but keep in mind when this transit comes, that it can be where you might have feelings of negativity regarding where you're going, or you're directed toward your purpose, your destiny at this time. But when the transit ends, you're likely going to not be quite as negative regarding it. And again, this is about the North Node can be our destiny, our purpose, and where you feel, what your mission is. And if a North Node is in Aquarius, as an example, it can be doing you might feel your mission is connected with being some kind of advocate for human rights, or maybe it's something with humanitarianism, altruism. If it North Node is in Pisces, it might be something helping those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, or the hungry. And there might be some responsibilities that you might have to do, take care of, that might just be conflicting with this, might be challenging this at this point in time, whether it might be home responsibilities, or something with a career, or it's a friend, or what have you. Also, too, the North Node is associated with the development of the positive attributes of the placement. And it might be something where you feel it's taking longer to really develop those attributes, those qualities at this time. It might feel like this arduous task of, say, if the natal North Node is in Taurus as an example, you might be trying to develop just a basic just general persistence and calmness, and maybe being able to formulate financial plans, doing things of some kind of something that's of a monetary in nature or field, a monetary field, perhaps like working as a stockbroker or pawnbroker. I should say be like a Taurian or Taurus field, and developing the persistent, persevering, and patient qualities of the North Node in Taurus, and ability to persevere. And the thing about this is, as well, I mean, this placement you're talking about, the North Node can be associated with with issues one may have to confront or address. Now, when you have this transit, there might be a delay in doing so. Maybe you're apprehensive or fearful of addressing or confronting an issue. Sometimes it could simply be confronting. It could be a person you might have to confront, or about some situation. Or there's an issue, whether it might be something criminal. Excuse me, people. For example, if a crime was committed, and whether you want to pursue it or not, there might be some delay or some apprehension. Sorry again. The thing is, now, let's say, I mean, this is where also too, I mean, the North Node is connected with what we're directed toward. And the thing is, there might be some delay in going after what we feel we're directed toward at this time, and where that future might be. And also too, it could be, I mean, North Node is what we're learning to be, what we're aspiring to be. Maybe there's negativity or pessimism regarding this. Maybe there might be some confidence issue in going after what you're aspiring to be at this time. If you're trying to be, like, say if this is in Gemini, the North Node is in Gemini, and it's in the 9th house as an example, maybe it's a diversified philosophy or belief system. Maybe you're having trouble getting away from the South Node in Sagittarius, which is more about focusing the targeting on one particular belief or philosophy and being somewhat one-sided, as well in terms of your thinking. Another way that this transit may manifest is that you might simply be apprehensive and fearful regarding your future in general. Now, if the natal North Node is in Aquarius, as an example, it could be some future, maybe in astrology or meteorology, astronomy, computers, innovation, or doing something with working as a human rights advocate. It could be something with humanitarianism. Another thing too, another way that this transit may be expressed, in some cases it may be a laborious effort, simply trying to develop the positive qualities of the North Node placement. Say, for example, if the North Node is in Scorpio, natal North Node in Scorpio, it could be where you're just trying to simply, be able to go beyond subterfuge, superficiality, looking deep into things. It could be going beyond, facades or phony appearances. Maybe it has something to do with solving crime or something with investigation. It can just simply be studying something on a very deep level. The South Node in that case would be Taurus, and that's more basic and fundamental, where Scorpio is more deep. And anyway, another way this transit may manifest, it could be a father, an authority figure, an older person, may be averse to what you're trying to do for your future. Now, if the North Node, natal North Node is in Pisces in the 5th house, as an example, maybe you might be planning on developing some hypothetical or simulated, which is Pisces. It'd be sports, which is the 5th house, and games. Games are also connected with the 5th house. It could be something that's connected with fantasy or fiction, as an example. Now, another thing too is that responsibilities at this time may conflict with an issue you may be trying to confront or address. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, say if, example, if Saturn is in Aries, maybe it could be responsibilities connected with just simply confrontation or doing something with welding or carpentry. Um, it may be some cases too. This transit may manifest in a chronic illness or debilitation, which is Saturn, may challenge what you're trying to really what you're trying to do as far as your mission, your destiny, what your future is. If the natal north node is in Virgo, as an example, I'm sorry, if Saturn is in Virgo, maybe this chronic illness could be connected with something with the pancreas or the spleen or something with the abdomen, as an example, as some examples. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.